Hey, how are you doing? So you might have heard about this incredible little device, the Lumenate Nova. It's a device that can shift your consciousness and induce mental states.
Wow. How does it do this?
And you might be thinking, that's cool, but how does this actually fit into my life? A state shift is not the same as a life shift. And if you use Nova like a mood gadget, then you'll get moments. If you use it like a method, you get outcomes. So in this video, I'm going to give you the 3 Nova protocols that I actually use in real life: sleep, stress, and creative clarity. But the bigger thing I want to teach you is the skill underneath it, so you can adapt this to your own nervous system, your own goals, and frankly, whatever modern life throws at you. And if you stick with me to the end, then I'll give you the small after step that is the difference between "that was nice" and "I can trust this tool." So let's start with a simple frame. Most of us are walking around with a nervous system that's constantly negotiating between 2 jobs. One job is to keep you safe, and the other job is to let you live. Sleep problems, stress problems, creative blocks, a lot of the time, those are the same thing showing up in different outfits. Your system is protecting you, and it's doing it in ways that are clumsy. Nova, for me, is a reliable way to change state on purpose. Not to escape, not to chase visuals, but to shift gears. And then the work becomes possible. So here's the model I'm using. State, then insight, and then action. So state is the environment. Insight is what becomes available. And action is the proof that you listened. If you do Nova and you don't do the action, then you'll still feel better, but it won't compound. Now, before we get into the protocols, here's a few guardrails. First, don't try to track the flashing. You're not supposed to follow it. You're supposed to receive it. Just let it wash over you. And second, I actually recommend longer sessions, but with a soft landing at the start. Give it 2 minutes of easing in before you expect anything useful. And third, intensity is context. If you're already wired, sometimes a more immersive session helps discharge in calm. And for sleep specifically, lower brightness is usually your friend. And fourth, if you feel agitated, then stop. Take the mask off, open your eyes, turn the lights on, exhale slowly and orient to the room. The goal is regulation, not endurance. Okay, so protocol 1 is sleep. And I want to be careful here because sleep content on the internet can get weirdly preachy. I'm not here to tell you to become a perfect sleeper. I'm here to give you a way to stop getting hijacked at night. If you can relate to this, you're tired, you're in bed, and your mind is suddenly doing its best work. It wants to solve your entire life. It wants to replay a conversation. It wants to anticipate tomorrow. That is not your mind being broken. That is your system doing threat monitoring. So the sleep protocol is not knock me out. It's let me transition. So here's the pre-step. Before the mask goes on, take 30 seconds. 1 sentence. Tonight, I'm not solving anything. I'm transitioning. You're telling your brain we're not opening the tabs again. And then you do the session. Lower the brightness. Gentle. The vibe is wind down, not stimulation. And here's the part that makes this actually work. When the session ends and you're still awake, don't grab your phone, don't check the time, don't chase that feeling. Give yourself 2 minutes. Do 3 slow exhales. And then 1 line on paper. What is my mind trying to protect me from right now? And that's it. It's not a journal entry, it's not a breakthrough, it's 1 line. Because the reason you're awake is often protection, and protection relaxes when it's acknowledged. And then you do the parking move. Tomorrow I will handle, and then you write 1 concrete thing. Send that email, make that decision, have the conversation. Just put it on the list. What you're doing is giving your nervous system proof that it doesn't need to keep you awake to remember. Now, if that helps, you'll feel the downshift. And if it doesn't, don't assume the answer is just more sessions. Sometimes you're activated in the body, like too much caffeine, too much scrolling, too much conflict, not enough food, not enough movement. Nova can shift the state, but it can't negotiate basic physiology. Okay, that's sleep. Protocol 2 is stress. And this one is for the middle of the day when you feel like you can't start. You're edgy, you're rushing, but you're not moving. Everything feels urgent and somehow nothing feels clear. And here's what I want you to know. Stress isn't just a feeling, it's a mode. And when you're in that mode, your brain does predictable things. You narrow, you over-prioritize threat, and you lose context. You make worse decisions. So the goal of a stress reset isn't to become blissful. The goal is to return to a state where you can choose. So here's the protocol. Before the mask, you decide what this is for. I'm doing a reset, and afterwards I'm taking one small next step. That one sentence is important because without it, you'll feel better and then you go right back into franticness. So then do the session. And short works here. You can use an app session that you like, or you can use the offline sequence that's called relaxed. Now, the after step is where you translate. It's a 3-part check-in. 1 body sensation, 1 emotion, and 1 action. So you might say, tight chest. I feel irritated. My action is 10 minutes on a task that reduces load. Send the 1 message, cancel the 1 commitment, reply to the 1 email, clean up the 1 loose end. And the reason this works is because stress tries to trick you into fixing everything. A reset plus 1 small action breaks that spell. And if you're still activated after, don't argue with yourself. Regulate. Water, food, a walk, sunlight, slow breathing, and then come back. Protocol 3 is creative clarity. And when I say creative, I don't mean artistic. I mean anytime you're trying to make something that doesn't exist yet. A plan, a piece of writing, a new offer, a difficult conversation, a decision that has ambiguity. The reason people get stuck isn't usually lack of ideas. It's that they keep asking their mind to perform, to be original, be correct, be impressive, don't waste time, don't be wrong. And that's a threat state in disguise. So the creative protocol is designed to do one thing: make it safe to generate raw material, and then turn that raw material into a next step. So here's the pre-step. Pick 1 question, 1. And it has to be the kind of question that creates movement, not the kind that creates philosophy. For example, what am I actually making in 1 sentence? What's the real problem I'm solving for the person on the other side? What's the simplest version of this that I could ship today? What's the next right move, the one that reduces uncertainty? And here's my favorite when I'm spiraling. If I stopped trying to be impressive, what would I do? So pick 1 and then do the session. Here I recommend medium lengths. You settle in, let it wash over you, and when you're done with it, then you capture 5 minutes. Not because 5 minutes is magical, but because it's short enough that your inner editor doesn't get a vote. So you're going to write 10 fragments. They can be sentences, they can be bullet points in your notebook, they can be half ideas. The rule is no editing. And then you look at what you wrote and you pick the one thing with energy. Not the most rational thing, the one that feels alive. And then you do the conversation. 2 sentences. The thing is, and you say what you're really making. So I'm going to, and you name the next shippable step. Not the whole project, just the next step. A draft, a prototype, a first paragraph, a sketch, a message to someone you trust to test the idea. This is how you turn a state shift into momentum. And now there's one more layer to this that I think is the real reason these protocols work. Most people use tools like Nova as an island. A session happens in isolation, and then life continues. But what you want is a bridge, state shift, then a small translation, then behavior. And if you do that consistently, you start building self-leadership, not as a personality trait, but as a skill. And one practical note, because this changes everything about adherence. Nova actually has offline sequences. There are 2 preset 10-minute sequences that you can save on the device. It's sleep and relaxed. And the reason I like this is simple. You can remove your phone from the ritual. You can then use your own soundtrack. And when you're trying to sleep or you're trying to calm down, the last thing you need is reintroduce the internet into the room. All right, so here's your simple start. Pick one protocol based on your actual pain this week. If it's sleep, do the sleep protocol. If it's stress, do the stress reset. If it's creative clarity, then do the question and capture. But whatever you do, don't skip the translation step, because that's the part that turns Nova from an experience into a tool that you can trust. If you try one this week, tell me which one you used and what happened after. Not how it felt during, but what changed after. And in the next video, we'll go deeper into that after piece, because that's where most of the leverage is. So be sure to keep tuned and see you in the next one.